Hello everyone, welcome back to my journey through 2005 Season 1 Doctor Who. Let me tell you something, episodes 4 and 5 were pretty good, but I really want to discuss the Dalek in episode 6. Alright, so as far as episodes 4 and 5, okay, they were pretty cool. And that's when the aliens came into London and I was like, okay, this is different, this is interesting. I mean, they're just jumping straight into it, not even caring. And I found it comedic that they kept farting. You know,
gathered together in one room. Excuse me, do you mind not farting while I'm saving the world?
Would you rather silent but deadly?
I understand the gas and how it works within the body and the device and all that, but the thing is, it was cool to see a different concept about aliens actually taking over. Instead of actually taking over to destroy us all and dominate, it was more about to sell Earth because of its minerals that it has, and it was worth top dollar. And I was like, that's a unique concept. I like that. You know, it's different than the norm. Let's take over everyone, rule them all, or make them slaves, etc. I thought that was cool. But the thing is, I'll be honest, from my personal perspective, it was hard to watch because they were comedic, you know, that was fine, but it just felt, I don't know, there's something about it, it just did not hit me as much as the previous 3 episodes. Now, I know I'm not really talking about 4 and 5 that much, though the concept about, you know, 12 days being a year on Earth and seeing Rose go back to her modern time.
It's not 12 hours, it's 12 months. You've been gone a whole year.
I'm sorry. Like, I know this is supposed to be about like the 3 episodes, but I can't get over episode 6 with the Dalek. All right, you saw so much emotion. I mean, seeing the Doctor, you know, come across a nemesis, because we only heard a little bit about his past, to how he's the last one and the Great Time War, and that the Daleks were involved, and knowing that that was the last Dalek, it was the last Doctor, or the last of his kind, seeing each other go face to face, it was like, oh my god, you get to see the Doctor get very angry.
Then what are you good for, Dalek? What's the point of you? You're nothing!
And you notice that he couldn't think straight. He was making decisions without really thinking about it because he was just so consumed by anger and just wanted the death of the Dalek. And then here comes Rose.
Rose, no!
You know, she touches him, and you find out later on that her DNA got absorbed into the Dalek, and that they're not supposed to feel any emotions. In fact, that's what makes them such great killers, is because they have no emotion. They have their directives and they follow through, and that's that. Because of the DNA with Rose and her being so filled with different emotions, that messed the Dalek up. He couldn't think straight, he couldn't handle all of that emotion, therefore leading to his own demise later on in the episode. Now, as far as that goes, just seeing that moment when the Dalek was like, give me the order to off myself.
Do it.
Are you frightened, Rose?
It was, in my opinion, I felt sad. You know, the music that was playing with it, I felt very upset seeing him go, because I really wanted to see the Doc and the Dalek work together at some point and learn from each other. But we didn't get to see that. On top of that, seeing that the X-ray and how the Doctor has 2 freaking hearts, I was like, what is happening? I have to know more. I have to know more. Like, that was really, really unique, especially to see him at such a vulnerable state as well. I mean, there's just so many random bits and pieces that I recall from it. I mean, I absolutely loved episode 6, period. Like I said before, 4 and 5, they were cool, but they didn't stick in my head. as a first-time viewer, they just did not. I can't really remember too much of it, and I just watched it. I just remember bits and pieces of it. I remember the boyfriend of Rose being very, very upset. Oh, I will say one thing. It was really cool to notice somebody.
The protocols are redundant. They list the people who could help, and they're all dead downstairs.
Hasn't it got like defense codes and things?
That's right, Penelope Wilton. I recognize her of Simon Pegg's character Sean from Shaun of the Dead. Barbara. I was like, oh my gosh, I recognize you. And while I was watching the aliens coming to London, I noticed it. I'm like, why does she look so damn familiar? And I know I'm jumping back and forth all over the place, but I'm literally just spinning this out as it comes into my brain, okay? So I do apologize for that, but at the same time, I do not. That's just how I am. Now, seeing her, I was like, this is so cool, but then I realized this is a BBC show, and it completely makes sense. Now, I hope that I get to recognize more. Like, that would be really cool if I recognize more characters from movies that I love. It was just cool to see her. It's so young, but yet so familiar, and she played her character very well. And I will say one moment from episode 5 that I really enjoyed was near the ending, when Penelope's character was going off, and they were making jokes like, you know, hey, you'd be cool if you ran for this position, etc. And then you find out the doc was like, she ends up going for 3 terms.
Future Prime Minister, elected for 3 successive terms, the architect of Britain's golden age.
The crisis has passed! Ladies and gentlemen, I have something to say to you all.
He does really well, and I was like, that's a cool ending. That was a nice ending. But back to episode 6, because that is my favorite so far of this season, and I hope there's going to be more like this. I like to see the emotion. I like the comedy that the doc has. I like the thoughts and the writing that the show has so far, but there's just something, episode 6 just made me enjoy it so much more. It made me excited to watch more, and I cannot wait to watch episode 7 and on. Now, back to episode 6. I know I'm discussing a lot about this, and I'm supposed to be discussing 4, 5, and 6, but like I said, 4 and 5 didn't really jive with me. That's just me being honest, and that's my opinion. All right, some of you may have loved all of the episodes, some of you may only enjoyed a few. That's perfectly fine. A show is a show, and it's for everyone to enjoy the way they want. Now, as far going back to, like I said, to episode 6, there was just so much, and seeing the alien open up and that whole scene at the end made me feel so bad for him, because you really got to understand and know that being the last of your kind and being alone and having no objective or no purpose, it sucks. You know, and to see the doc go from anger and to sadness, thinking he lost Rose, to feeling bad and understanding why the Dalek is the way he is, it just...
Hey, now!
No, because I won't let you do this.
That thing killed hundreds of people. You're not even that. Rose did more than regenerate you. You've absorbed her DNA.
It hit me hard. It felt really good. I didn't cry, but I felt the water in the eyeball starting to develop, I'll be honest. But I'm just glad it ended when it did. So that is my review, and that is my reaction so far of episodes 4 through 6. I hope you enjoyed it. Eventually, I'm going to make these a bit longer. I didn't find too much to talk about, except for just the emotions that I saw. And other than that, I hope you guys still enjoy this. I hope that you continue this journey with me, because I know a lot of you that have seen the show understand what's coming out there, what's coming soon for me. I haven't the slightest idea at all. So other than that, I'm gonna head on out. And if you enjoy what you like, guys, you know what to do. I'm not gonna sit there and ask you to like and subscribe and do all that. You know what to do. Make sure you stick around, because this recommended video coming up is for you. Stay hydrated, stay cool or warm. Sideward out.